Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling that abundance is within your reach, not as a distant dream, but as a palpable reality, waiting to be lived. What if I told you that, instead of fighting against difficulties, you can learn to attract success with the power of your own mind? It sounds bold, doesn't it? After all, who would say that the true key to prosperity lies not in what you do, but in what you believe? Well, transformation begins in your mind. But, contrary to what many think, it's not just about thinking positive or waiting for a stroke of luck. It's about something much deeper, more powerful. We're talking about reprogramming your mentality so that you align with the flow of abundance that is already available to you. Yes, the universe is conspiring in your favor, and your change in mentality is what will make all the difference. Are you ready to discover how to break the mental barriers that limit you and learn to become a magnet for wealth and success? Keep watching, because the path to a more prosperous life begins now, and you're already one step away from taking the first big leap. Mental reprogramming for abundance. Mental reprogramming for abundance is one of the most transformative steps in anyone's journey seeking prosperity. When we begin to understand the power of words and thoughts, we realize that we are actually the architects of our own reality. Using Neville Goddard's philosophy, I am becomes a powerful mantra, capable of replacing limiting beliefs that prevent us from achieving success. Through this technique, the mind begins to align with a flow of prosperity, promoting a positive mentality that is capable of attracting wealth naturally and fluidly. Imagine, for example, that you're always telling yourself that you don't deserve or can't do it. These phrases, repeated incessantly, become your truth, creating a mental barrier that prevents opportunities from arriving. But what if, instead, you started affirming that you are capable and that prosperity is already within your reach? Changing this belief, as simple as it may seem, has the power to transform your reality. I am is not just an affirmation. It's the key to opening invisible doors on your path, connecting you to universal abundance. This reprogramming is like replacing outdated software with something more efficient and agile. As you adopt the abundance mentality, what once seemed impossible begins to become a real possibility. Wealth is no longer in the realm of luck or exclusivity, but within reach of your mind and actions. Thus, by embracing this concept and putting it into practice, you're already taking the first step to align with success. Now, what's missing is understanding how affirmations can accelerate this transformation process. Positive affirmations and decrees. Positive affirmations are much more than mere words said randomly. They have the power to shape reality, creating a solid mentality of abundance and success. When it comes to attracting wealth, affirmations work like radar, directing our mind to the right opportunities and aligning our thoughts with prosperity. A simple affirmation, like, I am capable of attracting wealth, can begin to work miracles at the subconscious level. And here's the trick. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's repeatedly affirmed. So, by getting used to declaring your ability to prosper, you begin to program your mind to receive this abundance as something natural. Now, think about the following situation. If you had the power to plant seeds in your mind, what would you choose to plant? If you planted seeds of doubt and scarcity, you would naturally harvest more of that. However, by choosing seeds of confidence and affirmations like, money flows easily to me, you're cultivating a prosperous garden of abundance. The daily repetition of these words is like watering this fertile ground. Each day, the idea that you can achieve prosperity becomes more real, more palpable. The power of decreeing is immense, because by affirming, you begin to identify with what you say, integrating these words into your behavior and actions. However, it's not enough to just say the words. It's necessary to feel and believe them. The secret lies in involving emotion when saying the affirmations, visualizing yourself already in the position of success. The act of decreeing creates an anchor point for your desires, like a compass pointing in the right direction. Think of a person who constantly repeats to themselves that they will achieve their goals. Over time, they begin to make decisions and act in ways that make these affirmations a reality. This is what the great masters of personal development call aligning the mind with action. When your words and attitudes are in harmony, you begin to see concrete results. The importance of gratitude. Gratitude, often underestimated, is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to attracting abundance. It's not just a matter of recognizing what we already have, but of adopting an abundance mentality in our daily life. When we begin to express gratitude consistently, we are, in fact, signaling to the universe that we recognize and value the blessings that already exist in our life. This energy of thankfulness creates a positive cycle that inevitably attracts more to be grateful for. Like a kind of emotional magnet, gratitude attracts prosperity, opportunities, and new forms of abundance. Upon waking in the morning, how about dedicating a few minutes to mentally list or even write in a notebook the things you're grateful for? It could be something simple like health, a solid friendship, or the opportunity to be alive for another day. This practice, when performed with intention and an open heart, begins to create a positive vibration that's impossible not to notice. Gratitude, more than an action, is a frequency, and the more you tune your mind to this frequency, the more it reflects in your reality. Instead of focusing on lack, you begin to focus on what's already abundant around you, creating a mentality that attracts more good things. Imagine, for example, that you're going through a difficult financial moment. The tendency, in this situation, might be to focus on what's lacking, on what's not working. However, by choosing to see the positive side, like the fact that you have the ability to learn from this situation or that you have people around you who support you, you begin to transform your perception and, consequently, your reality. Gratitude, then, not only attracts more abundance, but also changes how you see challenges, facing them as opportunities for growth. The practice of gratitude isn't about ignoring problems, but about changing how we deal with them, transforming difficulty into fuel for personal transformation. Furthermore, gratitude is an excellent way to strengthen confidence in the manifestation process. When you're grateful for something, you're demonstrating confidence that what you have is enough, and that the universe always has something even better waiting for you. This creates a sense of security and abundance that is perceived by other people and even by the universe. Thus, the more you express gratitude, the more you become a person receptive to the opportunities and abundance that are at your disposal. This vibrational energy of thankfulness is irresistible, attracting to you what reflects the same energy of prosperity. Changing mindset about money. Changing your mindset about money is one of the most powerful steps in the journey of financial transformation. Many of us grew up with the belief that money is something difficult to achieve, scarce, and limited. However, when we begin to question these beliefs and see money as an abundant tool, ready to be accessed by everyone, our reality begins to change. The phrase, "money flows easily into my hands," may seem simple, but it contains a fundamental principle for building a prosperous mentality. By internalizing this idea, you're not just affirming that money will be easy to achieve, but you're also training your mind to accept opportunities for prosperity without resistance. Let's reflect for a moment. How do you feel when talking about money? If the words that come to your mind are negative, like "money is scarce," "I can't earn more," or "I'm not good enough to have more money," it's time to change this mentality. Money is an energy that constantly circulates around us. And like any energy, it needs to be released and received freely. When you begin to see money as something natural, as a part of life's flow, it stops being an obstacle and becomes an open possibility. This requires inner work, a deconstruction of old beliefs that limit your ability to attract and manage wealth. For example, imagine you grew up with the idea that money is dirty or one shouldn't talk about money. These beliefs, however well-intentioned they may have been, end up creating an invisible barrier between you and abundance. But what if you started to see money as a tool for good, a form of freedom that allows you to realize your dreams and help others? By changing your view of money, you begin to make space for it to flow more freely and consistently in your life. Each time you allow yourself to visualize money flowing to you easily, you're creating a new reality, more aligned with success and prosperity. This mindset shift also involves accepting that money isn't something you achieve only through effort, but also through emotional and financial intelligence. When you begin to work on having a positive mentality about money, you naturally begin to make better decisions, look for new sources of income, and be more creative in your approaches. The fear of not having enough disappears, and is replaced by confidence that you'll always have more than you need. Money stops being a burden and becomes a constant opportunity. This mentality, when internalized, creates an attunement with financial flow that begins to reflect in your daily actions. Creating a new self. Creating a new self is perhaps the most exciting step in the journey of personal transformation. As we begin to change our beliefs and reprogram our mind, we also begin to design a new version of ourselves. It's not just about desiring a life of success or wealth. It's about believing that we are worthy and capable of achieving it. This process of self-affirmation is like a rebirth, a mental and emotional rebirth. The person you were yesterday, with your limitations and limiting beliefs, gives way to a more empowered version aligned with your deepest goals and desires. By using affirmations like, "I am worthy of success," you're planting the seed of a new beginning, creating a version of yourself that already possesses the necessary qualities to achieve everything you desire. This creation of the new self is based on the constant practice of replacing old patterns of thought and behavior with new, higher, and more effective ones. Think of the process as building a new house. The foundation is the mentality, the walls are the beliefs you adopt, and the roof is your vision of the future. To create a new version of yourself, you often need to tear down the old house and start from scratch. This can be challenging, but the beauty of this process is that once the new self is created, it already comes with a solid structure that supports you at every step of the journey. This new self becomes more than an idealized version of yourself. It becomes your new reality. However, this creation of a new self requires constant work and a commitment to personal growth. A practical example would be committing every day to repeat affirmations that reinforce this new identity. Affirmations like, "I am capable of creating my own reality," or "I am a person worthy of all the blessings the universe has to offer," help strengthen this new version. Over time, you begin to see this transformation not just in the words you say, but also in your daily actions and behaviors. Your new self begins to act with more confidence, make more assertive decisions, and attract the right opportunities to your life. Thus, the construction of this new being is not just a mental act, but also a daily practice of aligning with the person you want to be. Furthermore, creating this new self goes far beyond mental reprogramming. It also involves continuous improvement of your being. When you begin to believe in abundance and success, you start acting according to these new values. And this internal change begins to reflect externally. Each decision made from this new place of power generates movement toward your goals. With this, you get closer and closer to the reality you've always desired, becoming a magnet for opportunities and resources that once seemed distant. The new self is not just a mental construction, it's a true life transformation. Visualizing wealth and prosperity. Visualization is a fundamental technique for those who wish to manifest prosperity concretely and effectively. The human mind is a fertile field for what we imagine and believe, and visualization, when used correctly, becomes a powerful tool for transforming dreams into reality. When you imagine yourself as a successful person, enjoying the wealth and prosperity you desire, you're literally reprogramming your mind for this reality. Visualizing success isn't just daydreaming, but rather a process of alignment between your thoughts and the actions necessary to achieve these goals. The key to visualization is the clarity with which you imagine your goals. It's not about a simple, vague vision of what you want. It's about feeling the experience as if it were already happening. When visualizing financial success, for example, imagine yourself already enjoying the benefits of this success. Feel the emotion of having achieved your goals, the pleasure of being surrounded by opportunities, and the sense of freedom that comes with wealth. When you allow yourself to feel this vividly, your mind begins to create a mental map that directs your actions toward this prosperous future. Imagine you want to acquire your dream home. When visualizing this desire, it's important not only to see the house, but also to feel the joy of living in it, of receiving friends and family, of living without financial worries. This process creates an emotional connection with the reality you desire, and the more you emotionally connect with this visualization, the easier it becomes to act in accordance with it. Visualization creates the emotional environment necessary to propel your mind to seek the right actions and decisions, aligning your energy with abundance and attracting the right opportunities to you. The universe conspiring in your favor. It's fascinating how the simple act of believing that the universe is in your favor can change how you behave and react to situations around you. The confidence that the universe conspires in your favor generates a sense of security and abundance that allows you to open up to new possibilities and opportunities. When you believe you're in tune with the greater forces that govern the world, you begin to act with more confidence and courage, knowing that any challenge is just a disguised opportunity. This belief strengthens your determination and provides an optimistic view, even in the most difficult situations. In many cultures and philosophies, it's believed that the universe or a higher force is always guiding those who are in tune with it. By adopting this mentality, you place yourself in a state of receptivity where doubt and fear no longer have space. This alignment with universal flow creates an opening for what's to come, allowing financial and personal opportunities to manifest more easily. Think of those moments when something that seemed unlikely or impossible happens to you, be it a promotion at work or a business opportunity. These moments aren't coincidences. They're the results of an alignment with the universe's energy, which responds to what you transmit. But this trust in the universe requires, of course, continuous action and a positive mind. When you have this faith, even when external circumstances seem difficult, your inner confidence remains firm, allowing you to make decisions more aligned with what you desire. This creates a positive cycle where your actions generate more confidence and attract more opportunities, creating a spiral of success and prosperity. The secret here is not just believing that the universe is conspiring in your favor, but also acting according to this belief, making decisions that reflect this confidence. Resilience and overcoming challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, and the way you deal with challenges determines your long-term success. Resilience is one of the most powerful qualities you can cultivate along the journey in search of prosperity. Facing obstacles doesn't mean you're going in the wrong direction, but rather that you're being tested and that, through these tests, you can grow even more. Affirmations like, "I have courage and can overcome any challenge," help strengthen this ability, reminding you that each challenge is a disguised opportunity to learn, grow, and advance toward your goal. Imagine you're in the middle of a major financial challenge. It may seem like the world is against you, that the difficulties are too great to overcome. But if you stop for a moment and think, how can I grow from this? You begin to see the challenge from a different perspective. This mindset shift creates resilience. Instead of succumbing to fear or despair, you strengthen yourself in the face of difficulties, knowing that these are the moments that test your determination and your will to achieve your dreams. Furthermore, by developing resilience, you come to see problems as simple springboards to success. Resilience is also strongly linked to the abundance mentality. The more you believe that the universe is conspiring in your favor, the stronger you become when obstacles appear. Instead of feeling helpless, you feel more empowered to face difficulties and find creative solutions to problems. This creates an inner strength that propels you forward, knowing that any challenge is just a step on the ladder of your success. Aligning with the frequency of prosperity. Being aligned with the frequency of prosperity is essential for attracting abundance consistently and lastingly. This frequency is a positive vibration, a mentality that tunes in with the energies of success, abundance, and wealth. When you begin to think positively about money and see abundance as something natural and accessible, you begin to become a kind of magnet for financial opportunities. The secret here lies in maintaining a prosperity mentality, regardless of external circumstances, and continuing to vibrate at this positive frequency. To align with the frequency of prosperity, it's important that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with what you desire. This means acting in accordance with the abundance you already have, without waiting for external conditions to improve before you start acting. For example, if you're seeking more financial opportunities, start acting as if you already had them. This doesn't mean living beyond your means, but rather beginning to make decisions that reflect a prosperous mentality. By aligning with this frequency, you begin to attract not just money, but also the opportunities, people, and resources necessary to achieve your goals. Aligning with the frequency of prosperity also involves releasing any belief in scarcity or limitation. This can be done through constant practice of gratitude, daily visualizations, and positive affirmations that reinforce your belief in abundance. When you tune in to this positive energy, everything in your life begins to align with prosperity. The key to this is consistency and the belief that abundance is not something you need to fight to get, but something you can allow to come to you, flowing naturally into your life. Now that you know the tools and steps to reprogram your mind toward abundance, the only thing left is to put everything into practice. It's no longer a question of whether you can attract wealth, but when you'll truly align with the principles of prosperity. The transformation begins in you, with the mentality you adopt each day. Are you ready to embrace your most prosperous and confident version? Think about this. What would your life be like if you decided, today, to become an unbeatable person in relation to abundance? If your mind is in tune with success, opportunities will begin to arise from where you least expect. The universe has always responded to our energy, and now is the time for you to make this connection. If you felt that this content made sense to you, then don't miss the chance to continue your transformation journey. Subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and keep learning how to be a person aligned with the flow of prosperity. Because what's to come may be even grander than you imagine. Your prosperity begins now, and you're the only one responsible for it.